everyone, welcome back to my channel, Healthy Happy Hippie. Today is another video for Waste Wednesday. This is episode number 3 and we're going to talk about plastic bottles and I'm going to go over some information about water. So let's hop into it. Sadly, single-use plastic bottles are becoming more and more accepted in today's day and age. You know, plastic bottles are piling up in our oceans, rivers, lakes, and on our land. Did you know that it takes about 700 years for plastic to dissolve? And only about 20% of those plastic bottles are being recycled. So that means about 38 billion plastic bottles are ending up in our landfills each year in America alone. So what are we going to do about this? Well, I'm going to go over some options for water bottles specifically, and then a little bit later in the video I'll talk about plastic bottles in general. You know, drinking tap water used to be a normal thing. I remember as a kid drinking tap water really wasn't that bad, but due to the pollution and the toxins in our environment leaking into our water supply, possibly because of all the plastic use, this is no longer acceptable. There's actually a website that you can go to. I think it's ewg.org. I will leave a link to it below so you can check it out. But what you do is you type in your zip code and you can look at your water supply, your tap water supply, and see what's in it. I did that and it actually has arsenic was one of the ones. I can't remember what else was in there, but I know arsenic was one of the toxic chemicals that's in my drinking water supply or my tap water supply. That's crazy. So let's talk about some different options to get our water besides buying those 24 packs of plastic with a little bit of water. I am going to go over 3. It's going to go from the least expensive to the most expensive, so let's get with it. So I price checked a pack of 24 bottles, which is like the standard size for plastic water bottles. At the grocery store, it can range anywhere from like $2.99 to $5.99 depending on the sale or what the grocery store has and what brand you get. So I did the math. If you purchase just one pack of 24 water bottles each week, for an entire year, you're spending about $207 approximately. And that's just for one pack a week. Now, most people I know buy 2 or 3 packs of those water bottles each week. So you're looking at $400 to $600 a year for your water supply. And you're also polluting the planet a crazy amount. I mean, think about 24 packs each water bottle. I know from experience because we used to buy our water this way before I knew better. And our trash can was full of plastic. It's just plastic and plastic and plastic. It's so wasteful. And you're spending so much money for that plastic just to pile up in our oceans. Really doesn't make sense. So my number 1 and least expensive tip to get your water is to buy a water filtration system like a Brita, where you fill it up at the tap and you put it in your fridge and it filters your water for you. I priced it, goes anywhere from like $15 to $30 depending on the filtration system that you get, and then you replace the filter every 2 months, which could be about like $30 a year. $30 a year for unlimited water supply. Now you would have to change the filter more depending how much you drank, but still $50 maybe, $30 to $50 a year versus, you know, $200 to $600 a year for your water, and you're producing no waste at all. You just filter your tap water with a pitcher, keep it in your fridge, keep it full, and you have water whenever you need it. So that is my number 1 tip, is to buy a Brita filter or something similar. Second option is more money up front, but same price for the whole year reoccurring, and that is to buy a built-in water filtration system like a reverse osmosis. I actually grew up with a reverse osmosis filtration system built into my childhood home, and what it is you connect it to your water line. It goes through a filtration system and it goes into a 4-gallon reserve tank. So you have at your sink readily available 4 gallons of fresh water, and then as you empty it, it refills. So what we did with this is we would keep a pitcher, fill it up, put it in the fridge, cold water whenever we needed it. It was perfect. I did price these. They can go anywhere from $150 to $300 for the system. That is a one-time purchase, and then you replace the filter each year. So reoccurring, it was about anywhere from $30 to $50. Same for the Brita filter. Brita filters are cheaper on their own, but you replace them more often, whereas the reverse osmosis filtration system is a little bit more expensive, but you replace them once a year. So both of those are amazing options. As a matter of fact, I plan on getting a reverse osmosis filtration system once we purchase a home. We currently rent, so I'm like, why install one right now when it's only going to be temporary? So I plan on getting one of these, you know, spend about $200 or so, and you have water for life. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to produce any waste whatsoever. You keep a pitcher filled up in your fridge, cold water, whenever you need it. It's perfect. I did also want to talk about stocking up your water for disasters. So I live in Florida, we have hurricanes, and we are always encouraged to stock up on water. And in the past, what that meant for us was going to the grocery store and buying a ton of plastic 1-gallon jugs, or buying the 24 packs of water bottles that are individually, you know, 16-ounce plastic water bottles, 24 of them, and that's just a lot of waste. And now what we do to prepare for natural disasters and prepare for hurricanes is we get those very large 5-gallon jugs that are washable, and we fill those up and keep those on hand. Now you can buy them sealed, or if you have a filtration system, you can fill them up with your own water supply. It is kind of tricky though. I have done this. Like I said, I grew up with a reverse osmosis filter, and since it is only a 4-gallon reserve, it does take some time. So we would sit that jug there and hook a hose to it, like a hose, and fill it up little bit by little bit as it like reserves, and it takes about maybe an hour for that water to refill again with fresh filtered water. But you're producing no waste. It's practically free because you just pay a one-time purchase for the filtration system, and you have water if you need it for a natural disaster. And my number 3 option is what we currently do, and it is the most expensive. I actually didn't realize how expensive this was until I wrote down all the prices and looked it up for the whole year, which makes me kind of sad, but whatever. So what this is a water cooler system. So you know where you put the 5-gallon on top of the water cooler, and you have hot, room temperature, or cold water whenever you need it. So we got our water cooler as a hand-me-down from our in-laws, but they could range anywhere brand new from like $150 to $300, or you can even look for these gently used. People who don't use them anymore or are upgrading. I looked in my area on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, LetGo, and even Craigslist, and I found them anywhere from $30 to $100. And of course, you can bargain with these people too. You don't have to pay the price that they're saying unless they don't want to come down, but you know. So that's a great option if you want to buy a water cooler system and you don't want to have to pay an arm and a leg for a brand spanking new one. Get one that's gently used. More often than not, people just don't use them or they're upgrading, and you can get one that works perfectly fine. Just clean it with some bleach or vinegar and you're totally fine. Ours was used, and I cleaned it and it works, so it doesn't bother me. But the reason that this gets so expensive is because you buy the 5-gallon jugs. So what we used to do was go to the grocery store with those 5-gallon jugs and either refill them or trade them in for a fully filled one. And that can get kind of expensive. You're paying $9 to $10 for a fresh one, but if you bring back your empty jugs and trade them in, it's around $5 or $6 because you get a credit for bringing back the jug. Or you can take them to those stands and fill them up. I don't really know how much those cost. I find that really inconvenient to lug big, giant 5-gallon jugs to and from the grocery store in and out of my house. I didn't like that. So what we currently do is we have a subscription service. Most offices have these where they get the 5-gallon jugs delivered. We use Crystal Springs because that's what's local for us. And I looked it up. We pay about $600 a year for our water supply. So that's a little crazy. I mean, if you look at it, it's about the same as buying plastic water jugs in the 24 pack. So, I mean, it's really the same. We drink a lot of water. As a matter of fact, we kind of only drink water. So that might be different for you if you don't drink as much water as me and my husband do, or it might be even more if you have children or there's more people in your family. You really have to weigh the cost. That's why I think it's more efficient to buy a filtration system, because it is a one-time purchase and you have it forever. You just keep refilling or replacing the filter. But I did want to give those 3 options. I think that, you know, no matter what your current circumstances are, there's something there that could work for you, and it is significantly better than buying the 24-pack of plastic water bottles that's wrapped in even more plastic and polluting our environment, crowding our oceans, and piling up on our lands. So between a water filtration system pitcher, built-in water filtration like a reverse osmosis, or a water cooler system, and buying the 5-gallon jugs, one of those 3 will work best for you. I wanted to give all 3 options. So hopefully this gave you some good tips. And you can take a look at your current water routine and make some changes for the better of our environment. So what if you're not home? What if you get thirsty while you're out doing your errands or whatever, you know, because you're human and you get thirsty? The best option I can give for this is to not buy the plastic water bottles that come in the cooler, but to keep water on you. I mean, I'm sure you already know that you should be keeping a refillable water jug with you at all times, but this is seriously my biggest tip. I cannot go out of the house without this. This is a 24-ounce. Mine's glass, so it doesn't really stay cold, but you can get a better version that keeps your water cold. My husband has a gallon-sized one that's stainless steel and it's insulated. And seriously, we could put a little ice in it, leave it in the hot Florida sun all day, and come back and it still has ice in it, and it's perfect. So if we're going to the beach or something like that, what we do is we each have our own water bottle, personal water bottle, and then we fill up his gallon-size stainless steel jug, and we just keep pouring that into our cups as we run out. So that way we have a whole gallon with us at all times, and we don't have to buy any water at all. We just have to prepare, you know, when we leave for the house, and bring our water with us, so that way we don't get tempted or have to purchase water bottles. Obviously, if you're out and you're thirsty and you need water, you're just gonna have to bite the bullet and buy the water bottle, go home and recycle it. But if you prepare a little bit, this won't be a problem. Well, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching my 3rd episode of Waste Wednesday on plastic water bottles. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, don't forget to be healthy, be happy, and be hippie.